All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So we are going to wrap up the discussion about your innate immune system, your second line of defense, by talking about some of these antimicrobial proteins that your cells are capable of producing. One of which is this compound called interferon, and it's actually something that we use as antiviral medications now as well. But your body naturally produces these proteins called interferons in your cells, especially when they are infected by a virus. So that virus comes in, it injects its genetic material, and its job is to be in here making more viruses. And it's going to be able to do that in that initial host cell. But what that can also do is trigger turning on this interferon genes in your own cell's DNA, which will go through protein synthesis, produce that interferon molecule, release it, and then once that gets triggered or gets attached to a interferon receptor on a neighboring cell, that also triggers a set of transcription and translation in that next cell to produce these antiviral proteins that block that virus from getting in and being able to reproduce. So while there's no hope for this particular cell, it can then sort of send out distress signals to neighboring cells so that those neighboring cells can cordon themselves off and hopefully block the ability for that virus to continue replicating outside of that initial host. So they're proteins that are produced by things like macrophages, lymphocytes, fibroblasts as well. And so we talk about these as antiviral proteins. Again, they're released into the extracellular fluid of your tissues from the initial cell that gets infected. Again, they bind to the receptors of the cells and induce that antiviral protein synthesis. Those antiviral molecules, we take the instructions from your DNA, turn them on, go through transcription and translation, and then hopefully that cell can block that viral reproduction. They can do a host of things. They can inhibit cell growth. They can suppress tumor formation. They can enhance phagocytosis, as well as enhance natural killer cell and T cell activity. They can help in the production of antibodies. So it's a pretty powerful protein that does more than just physically block the production of the virus from being able to replicate in a neighboring cell. It also inhibits and enhances a lot of other components of our immune system, which is pretty cool. Other antimicrobial proteins, your immune system also has this thing called a complement system, and this is made up of about 30 known proteins. And what they will do is they will cause the lysing of invading cells. So this is more antibacterial. So the interferon is more antiviral, this is more antibacterial or anti-parasite. And these complement systems will cause those invading cells to split apart. They'll get lysed or broken apart. It also helps to trigger inflammation as well. So if we take a look at just sort of summarizing the basics of what we're looking at here for your body's second line of defense, this table just kind of takes everything and condenses it down. So it's a nice one to look at. But you've got your phagocytes in there, your natural killer cells, the antimicrobial proteins are in there, inflammatory response, fever. So it's a nice one to come back to and reference as well as to study from.